Yes. Woo. All right, next we have for Congress. And let's see, I think we'll do it in alphabetical order, so we'll go Garcia. Is that right? You guys graduated high school?
Appreciate it. I'm Mary Linda Garcia. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for having me here. I hail from the town of Salem, and I'm running in the 2nd District, which is quite interesting geographically, as it does contain the southern border where I live, and then of course the west part of the state, and then a great enormous portion of the North Country and the entire northern portion of New Hampshire. But you know, the more I've been traveling around and talking to people and those in various industries and economy across the state, I think it's really important because aside from the fact that I think our state is truly wonderful, and I feel really blessed to have grown up here, lived here, and been participating in state government here for 4 terms as a state representative, I really think that at a time when our elected officials on the federal level tend to become very myopic, you know, if it's not by party line or by issue, they have, certain industries or, different areas that they just look at that and take votes accordingly. They fail to look at the big picture. They fail to think about how is this piece of policy going to affect someone here and someone here. Because at the end of the day, all of the things we vote on, all of the policies that are enacted, touch a wide swath, if not our entire citizenry. So I appreciate the fact that as a congressperson, were I to be elected here in the 2nd District, when I take a vote, I have to be thinking about how is this going to affect the southern portion of New Hampshire, and then those in the North Country as well. And those areas are very different, and I'll tell you, one of the things that's a huge commonality is the concerns I hear from people, and that is this. They say, we are at a time when unfortunately the government and elected officials have lost the trust of people entirely. The governed and the governing, there is a huge gaping hole of trust. And it used to be that people would say, you know what, politicians, they're dishonest, they're corruptible, they're politicians. But we're at a point right now from the highest level, from the president all through his administration and his surrogates, we have actual evidence that we are being deceived. And they are not working in our best interest almost every day and in every area, from the economy to foreign affairs. You need to look at the scandal of the IRS, right? An agency that can turn your life upside down in an instant. There's no trust there. There's no accountability there. You look at what happened with the VA. No accountability, no transparency, waste, inefficiency. You look at what happened in the cover-up of Benghazi. It's bad enough to have a security lapse and have such a horrible incident, but when you look at our president and his administration, the way they lied to us for weeks in the aftermath, that is unacceptable. Then you look at something as huge but yet basic as Obamacare. This is taking over 1/6 of our economy, yet it's health care. It affects each of us in the most personal way. It's one thing to disagree on policy and, fight with the ones that want to centralize government control and move us towards a single-payer system, or people like me who have always fought and advocated and advanced legislation to move us towards a more innovative, consumer-oriented approach. But what's the big disaster here on the federal level? It's that they passed this bill, but they sold it to us and foisted it upon the entire country based on false premises and lies, and that is unacceptable. And so I'm running for Congress in the 2nd District, looking to replace Ann Custer. And my contention with her, frankly, is almost on every policy issue. However, my bigger contention with her is that she, right now, given all of the things I've stated, she claims and says of her own volition that she considers herself one of the strongest supporters of the Obama administration in all of U.S. Congress. She says that though she wasn't in office to vote for Obamacare because she's in her 1st term, she says, had I been there, I would have voted for it. She she is considered the most liberal member of the U.S. Congress. She's someone that at a town hall couldn't even give an answer to what about Benghazi. Just didn't answer, walked off the stage. I'm running against her because I think it's time that we as a citizenry and as a population have power returned to us. Decision making is best at the local level. Government and elected officials swear to uphold the Constitution. We need to contain and reduce the size and scope of government. That's what I've always done here in the State House. I would continue to do so with every vote in Congress if I were elected. So I appreciate you having me. I'd encourage you to please see some of my materials. You can learn more about me and my positions on a variety of issues available on my website, and I'm happy to take any questions if anybody asks. Thank you.
Well, did anybody have a question? Because nobody submitted any cords, all right? Anybody have a question real quick? Okay, thank you.
Good evening, folks. Thanks for coming out. My name is Gary Rampy. I'm a constitutional conservative, and I am running for Congress because I want to continue to serve my country. And I want to continue to defend the Constitution, because that's what I've been doing for 35 years. Just 2 months ago, I retired from the Marine Corps, reserving active duty, serving since I was 19 years old. It was a total of 35 years, 1 month, and 25 days. I enjoyed every single minute of serving. The reason why I'm running for Congress is I don't see a lot of service down in Congress. You folks probably don't see a lot of service from Andy Custer's. Anybody here seen Andy Custer in the town hall? No, right? Well, that's not service, folks. It's called dysfunctionality. And that's what I'm not about. I'm a small business owner in Nashville. My wife is a small business owner in a different business in Nashville. We have 2 daughters who are 18 and 13. We weren't always small business owners. I worked at McDonald's for minimum wage. I worked in a meat market when I was 14. Worked in a textile mill like my mother did when she came to this country, without a high school education. Washington, D.C. has forgot about the guy working at McDonald's down the street. They forgot about the veteran. They forgot about the small business owner. They forgot about Main Street. And I intend to change that. Tell you what some of the issues that I'm going to go down and work on. Immigration. Really important to me because I'm the son of an immigrant, a legal immigrant. Who came here literally with her suitcase in her hand with her family after World War II. We can secure that border. It can be done. We need to get a fence up where we need it. We need drone aircraft, aviation assets in the air, and we need boots on the ground where we need it. Here's the clear message coming from me if you send me to Washington. No amnesty. Enough is enough. That's what I want. And veterans. So I was talking to you before, man with a Ranger cap. You've got some issues with the VA. I got a lot of issues with the VA because everywhere I go I hear about the issues. You send me to Washington, D.C., here's what I'm going to promise you. I will never stop fighting to make sure you, sir, and every veteran in here that deserves the health care that they should get, gets it in the city or town in which they live in. There's no reason to have this 50-mile rule or you gotta wait. You go get the health care right now. And with Obamacare, man, I was talking to you recently about Obamacare before I get up here. We talked about the increase in cost, the decreased access. Once again, you send me down there, I'll never stop fighting to repeal it. I promise you. Tell you what I'm running, that's what I'm for. That's what I'm going to do. But I tell you what I'm running against. The career politician. And I'm not one. I'm 54 years old. I'm not going down there to start a new career. If you read my stuff, I'm running on term limits. I'm going to term limit myself to 3 terms. I'm going to try to stop them from serving more than 3 terms. Pensions, they don't rate them. I'm turning mine down. I'm fighting to take theirs away. No papers. Congress want to give me one, I'm giving it to charity or back to the government. I'm taking it away from them if I can. You don't pass the budget, you don't get paid. Period. That's what I'm running on. I came up here, I've been up here several times, been up to Grafton County, Coos County. I came up here to ask for your vote. I need your vote to win. If you like what I stand for, September 9th is the primary, I'm going to ask you to consider me and vote for me. Then, I'm going to ask you to help me beat Andy Custer in November. I'm going to ask for your vote again. And I want to thank you very much for coming here today, and I'll be around here after if you have any questions for anything that I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. I just have one question. This person thinks they're going to be elected, so says, when you're elected, will you spend our valuable time pursuing feelings or addressing issues like energy, jobs, less government intervention, or lower taxes?
Answer to that question, I'm going to do for you what I did up at the state senate when I served from 2010 to 2012. I was the first Republican in 94 years to win that seat in Nashville. You know what I ran on? Conservative principles. Lower taxes, we cut the budget for the first time since World War II during that term. And I'm going to do the same when I get to Congress.